to the Strong Baby Mama Show. I am your host, Cortega Collins. Last week, we talked to Rachael Hubbard, and she told us her story of overcoming unbelievable abuse. So she's back today. Like in the movies, we are fast forwarding 7 years. If you did not watch last week's episode, I encourage you to go back and watch her original interview so that you can hear her story of overcoming. You will be amazed. What I said last week is she does not look like what she's been through. You will not believe what she's endured. So tonight we have Rachael, who's going to come back to us and share with us what life was like after the abuse. So just to catch you up a little bit, Rachael was a single mom, and she was being physically and emotionally and sexually abused by her child's father, and she stayed by the same reason so many of us stay in a relationship, because she wanted her happy ending. So Rachael, tell us a little bit about well, one thing I want to make sure that because this show is for single moms who are going through. I want you to explain to them some of the difficulties you experienced as a single parent, because you moved on from that relationship, so you had to spend some period of time where it was just you and your daughter. So tell us about some of those things that you had to overcome, or some of those things, what it was like being a single mom.
Yeah. It was tough, right? So I one of the reasons why I stayed so long is because I wanted my family. I wanted my daughter to have her family in one home. And so I held on to that for so long, but realized that wasn't healthy, right? Even though we're together under one roof, what she's saying is not healthy. And so it was tough. After we had this falling out incident, and, you know, I knew for me, I could not go back for myself and for my daughter. So for me, I wanted her to see a good example. I wanted her I didn't want her to see any of that. So it was tough being a single parent and managing. At that time, I was working full time, 5 days a week. Okay. Going to school. I was at St. Louis University 2 days a week.
Okay.
So no days off.
No
days off. So it was tough.
Okay.
It was tough, you know, trying to be the mother to her, trying to focus on my studies, trying to work so that we had income. I had my own apartment, so maintaining bills, and I'm 19, 20, so it was tough being strong for her. You know, keeping it together, even though I feel this way or I feel that way, having that game face on for her, and giving her the time that she needed. It was tough. I'm 19, right, with a baby, so it was tough as well. I guess the criticism from society of, you know, of this young girl with this baby,
right?
Not married, by herself, single mom. So it was tough. It was very challenging.
So you had to, after being abused and being torn down, you had to go to school. You had to take care of your daughter, and you had to be a support system for your daughter. So tell us how you were able to do that. What would you say to a single mom out there who feels like my life is over because my relationship is over? Because sometimes we feel like when the relationship with the father ends, that we cannot do it on our own. So what would you say to a single mom out there to let her know that even though you have been through so much, you can still survive, you can still persevere?
So my mother raised me to be a strong, independent woman, right? So she always told me, you know, you need to be able to take care of yourself. And that was ingrained in me. So I knew, even though I went through this situation, I knew that I have a child, right? I want so much for myself. I want so much for her. So that was my motivation. And, you know, I went through my situation, 4-year relationship. And honestly, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I know that's cliche, but that is so true. So for me, I think that was my motivator, looking at my daughter, you know, wanting the world for her. And so it was tough, you know, no days off, trying to do this, trying to do that at the age of, you know, 19, 20. It was tough, but you know, at the end of the day, I had to remember why I was doing this, right? I was doing it for her, and that's what kept me going. So I would say, you know, you just have to, look at your child, and if nothing else, if you don't have the internal, if you don't have it within you, you look at your child.
Okay.
And let that be, your motivator to not give up and to take it day by day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Rachael, tell the viewers what you were able to accomplish even after all of this abuse. 4 years of an abusive relationship. Tell us what you were able to accomplish.
Yeah, so I was, at the time that I moved out at 18, I was at St. Louis University. So I was in school for about 2 years, 4 semesters. And of course, with the situation that I was going through, took a toll on me. So my grades were declining. I wasn't able to focus. I wasn't there, mentally. And so after this incident, I took a semester off to breathe and recover, regroup. And so that one semester off turned into a year or two. But at some point I knew what I wanted. And so after things calmed down, my life, became stable, and I enrolled back in school. Mm-hmm. And so I finished my bachelor's degree. Mm-hmm. And then after I finished that degree, I went straight through and got my master's. Okay. So definitely a challenge, being a mother, having a young child, but definitely something that I knew was not an option for me. It was something that I had to do for myself and for my daughter.
Okay, right. So that was, you're quite accomplished then. So you finished your bachelor's degree and your master's degree, and you got both of them from Lindenwood University?
Yes.
Okay, so you were a working professional.
Yes, and I would say I know the thought of going back to school with a child can seem overwhelming, but Lindenwood, as well as other universities, have programs for working adults, night school, online classes. So that was the best option for me. Okay. And I could not have done it without those options. So. Okay.
So I think it's important for other single moms to understand about Rachael's story is that she went through this situation, and even though she put a pause in her goals, she still went on to accomplish them. Even though all of this had happened, you picked back up. You picked yourself back up, and that was difficult to do, but you went ahead and did that. Okay, so tell us, Rachael, did this situation, tell us really quickly if you can, did this situation jade you from being in relationships again? Were you able to trust and love again?
Well, I would say I was a bit jaded. It was tough. For me, love, what is love? What is monogamy? What is a long-term relationship? I thought that I had these ideas of what it would be, but after my situation, I didn't know. I questioned everything. But I met my now husband, and in the beginning, I expressed my concerns, and he told me that he was very patient with me, and told me, I told him I don't know if I believe in marriage and and all of those things. And so he told me that, and it showed me that it's real, and it can be real. It just has to be for the right reasons. Right. So I think with time, as I was able to heal, even though that took a long time, I can't even say that I'm 100% healed. Mm-hmm. But as the time went on, I knew, like I said, what I deserved. I knew that I didn't allow him to break me, mm-hmm. I didn't allow him to break me. And so I was able, as time went on, I knew that there was better. My husband was able to show me, mm-hmm. Not tell me, but show me that love can be real.
Right. And that's a very important point that she made. Love is, we hear cliche that love is an action word. So her current husband not only told her with his words that he loved her, but he showed her with his actions. And there is love on the other side. There are healthy relationships yes. that you are able to be in even after a relationship like that. So Rachael, I'm so happy that you came to be on the show. So happy that you were transparent to share your story with other single moms. I know that there's somebody out there who is still in an abusive relationship and may not even realize that the verbal abuse is still abuse, but there's somebody Absolutely. Actually out there who's being beaten right yes. now, and they feel like you did, and you, yes. when you were in that relationship, okay, this is my life. Yes. I need to stay for my daughter. Yes. I need to stay for my son. Yes. I need to be here so that they can have a 2-parent home. But that's really not healthy.
And for it's them damaging. To see. No, not at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for me, right, I wanted to be alive and well for my child. Right. She needed at least me, right?
Right.
She needed me. So I couldn't allow him to take me out. So I
Right.
had to do that for her and for myself.
Okay.
Yes.
So you heard it here, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for part 2 of Rachel's story. As you can see, you are able to overcome these situations. You can still fulfill your goals. You can still accomplish your goals. You can still get that degree. You can still get a professional job. Rachel has a very good career right now. She's
Yes.
doing very well for herself. She and her husband, Justin, have had another.
Yes.
She had another child,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So BJ, Justin.
Yes.
Yeah, so she, so life is good for her, right?
It is. I'm very blessed. Yes.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be here if I didn't have the strength to
Right.
move on.
Yes.
So look, I'm here and I'm alive and well, and I have to be thankful for that.
Right.
Yes.
And one thing I want to mention that she made sure that she got healing. She healed, and she and her husband gave her space to heal. So don't jump right out of an abusive relationship and right back into another relationship thinking that someone can be your savior. You have to heal from yourself. You have to become whole on your own. But yeah, check out Rachel's story from last week if you do not know everything that she endured. But she was able to overcome. She is more than a conqueror. She's an overcomer. She overcame some horrible situations and ordeals. But she was able to come out strong, and she went through all of this while she was a single parent. And that's what this show is about: uplifting, motivating, and inspiring single mothers to live a better life, not just for their children, but for themselves as well. You need to be the best you, and that's the best thing that you can do for your child, is to be healthy yourself. Remember, when you're on a plane, it says to put your mask on yourself first and then try to help somebody else. So that's our show for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. We encourage you to like this video. Leave us a comment if you want any more information about how Rachel was able to get a degree even though she was a single mom, to go back to school. If you want it to tell us about your story, if you want to connect with me, connect with Rachel, we encourage you to leave us a comment. Let us know. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, The Strong Baby Mama Show. I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you know when new content has been uploaded. You can also connect with me on Facebook, Strong Baby Mama, or you can email me directly, especially if you'd like to share your story with me. You can reach me at strongbabymama@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your story, and perhaps you can be one of my next guests to share with the world how you overcome and why you are a strong baby mama. But until next time, remember, you are stronger than you think.